So now it's my turn. So I am Nancy Wang, and as you can see, I am a female. I am Asian, Chinese. I am an elder. I am short and getting shorter. I am a mother, I'm a grandmother. I am an American, a fifth-generation American. My accent is probably somewhere between the Midwest of America and California, although I can put a Southern accent on pretty quick because I am originally from New Orleans. Yeah. And I am these descriptions and many more. But when I think most people see me, the first thing they see is that I am Asian. And I think what immediately happens is that it conjures up in their mind their idea of what an Asian is. A stereotype, some old ancient book they read, something they saw on TV, something they heard from their parents, that I am then seen as that idea. And it is so embedded in them that it doesn't matter who I am, what I sound like, what I look like. All they hear and see is what they have already arranged in their mind. And what is the response of these people when they see me as their idea? It can range all over the place. It could be as racist as, go back where you came from, Or it could be, ni hao, or konnichiwa. Where are you from? Right? But no matter what range it is, what they're basically saying is that I don't belong. I don't belong like they belong. I'm an outsider. I have been called a chink. I have been asked if I have a slanted cunt. I have been nicknamed Susie Wong after the call girl in the movie The World of Susie Wong. I have been they think I'm Nancy Kwan sometimes, who was the actress who played the call girl in The World of Susie Wong. Because we all look alike, right? No. Although I wouldn't mind looking like Nancy Kwan. Now, when I was younger and single and worked a 9-to-5 job, I would often be the butt of racist jokes by my white male colleagues. And in social situations, the same, by white male strangers, trying to, look good in front of their other male friends. They didn't do that with my white female colleagues or my white friends, female friends that I was with. And the women, they would often see me as exotic, and therefore sometimes they would mock me behind my back. So my question is, what does it take for us to be seen and responded to as just another human being, welcomed as a friend and not a foe? I mean, how many times do we have to have someone pushed on the unforgiving cement sidewalk with their heads bashed in, bleeding and left to die? How many times do we have to be pushed in front of an oncoming train, stabbed, shot, spit at? How many times do we have to have our businesses and our places of worship vandalized before those perpetrators who are really cowards, picking on women and elders? When will the communities from which those perpetrators come say something? Because it's not right for the victims to always have to be the ones that educate, to protest, to plead for legal protection. it's exhausting. We don't want to do it alone. We would rather have allies. And so this is where I think I wanted to bring all of you together on Thursday and today and wherever, that it's much easier to deal with these things when we have someone we're connected to. Community. That's so important, so important. I have a story for you. It's a Japanese ancient myth. It is the story of Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, and her battle with Susanoo, the god of storms. So Amaterasu, the goddess of the light, of the sun, ruled her world with love and compassion. But one day, Susanoo, her brother, sent a message asking if he could please come and say his final goodbye to her before he was banished from paradise, because their own parents had decided he had made one too many cruel tricks. Now, Amaterasu was suspicious, because after all, she knew who he was. But like many of us, myself included, I don't listen to myself when I should. And so she allowed Susanoo, her brother, to come onto her island and bid her farewell. After all, she was a goddess, and she ruled with love. Well, the moment he got there, he began to disrespect her. He even said, "Let's have an orgy with all your women." He took his thunder ponies and ordered them to trample upon her beautiful, luscious gardens. And his final cruelty was he took one of his own ponies and he slashed it, flayed it, and then threw it over the ridge onto the roof of the women's weaving hall. The roof collapsed, and in the rubble lay the body of Amaterasu's own daughter. She was in such rage and despair and sorrow that she left. She fled up to the mountains and she hid herself in the cave, and in so doing, she removed the light from her world. And as a result, her world was dark. And we know what that's like. We are not far from that now. And Susanoo, the god of storms, and we know who that is today, he ruled with total chaos. But now, here's what happened. The spirits and the sprites, the lesser gods and goddesses, realized that their hearts still had a beat, that they were still alive. And so they decided to party. They partied in front of the cave. They began beating on an overturned wash tub. And then the goddess of good luck took off her clothes and she began to writhe and twist. She began to dance. And everyone was laughing and having so much fun and began to dance that joyful noise made itself up to the mountain, to the cave. And when Amaterasu heard that, she said, "How dare they party without me?" So she took a peek out of the cave and brought the light back into the world. But the main difference was this time she found her reflection in a mirror that had been hung on a pine tree by the fox spirit, and realized how very precious and how very important her light was. And so she brought back the light into the world and promised she would never, never take that light away ever again, which is what we have to do. She kicked out the storm god. I wish it was that easy. And the world was returned, and forever they were back into the light, into knowing that what it takes is for us to come together. So like Separate stalks of bamboo, when they are tied together, they are stronger. And that's the same with us. We must come together with one voice. We must not stay in our own little comfort zones. Latinos here, Asians here, blacks here, whites here, whatever. We need to come together. We have to be allies. We have to really have one voice, because we are facing something really very, very despairing. So, we need for you to dance. Do not ever let the light leave you. And you know, it's your light, and no one can take it unless you let them. So, we are going to bring the light back into the world. We're going to keep our own light. We are not going to let them, even if they call us names, let them do that. I will not be put down. We will keep our light and our joy, because that's how we're going to get through it. So, it's the taiko. Let's start with your hands. Okay, now rise to your feet and bounce. Bounce to the rhythm. That. That's it. We can go up to the top, down to the bottom. Anywhere you want. You can turn, and Eriachi, yo, 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 yo.
Ho, ne miro ho. Onaji ya honara oranya son son. Adoro ho, ne miro ho. Onaji ya honara oranya son son. Era yacha, yo, 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 yo.
And what that means is,
look at the fool dancing. Look at the fool watching the fool dancing. Both are fools, why not dance? Era yacha.
yo, 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 yo.
Era yacha.
Yo, 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 yo.
Era yacha.
Yo, 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 yo.
Adoro ho, ne miro ho. Onaji aho nada oranya son son. Era yacha, yo, 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 yo. Era yacha, yo, 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 yo.
All right. Doesn't that feel better than despair?